Texas fans are not the only folks that got jokes about Oklahoma following its 23-6 loss to an unranked Texas as the number 6 team in the country last week. Let's talk about what the Big 12 had to say and what Brent Venables said to kind of set it off and how, Big 12's kind of right. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching, adapt and respond. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you believe that the Big 12 should have been coming off the top rope with the people's elbow, with the 619, with 3 stomps and the heart punch? Do you think that the Big 12 should have absolutely showed up and gave the Pearl River plunger to Brent Venables in Oklahoma? Do you think that perhaps the Big 12 should have showed up and put Brent Venables in Oklahoma in the hippie hole? Do you think that the Big 12 should have shown up and made like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and planted a flag all the way on Oklahoma's chest? Do you think that the Big 12 showed up like The Undertaker when we thought he was dead to go get that pin on that 3 count? Because that's exactly how this fits. My goodness. So for those of y'all living underneath that particular rock, and I'm sure that the weather's nice on Mars because you had to be on an entirely different planet to not know that Oklahoma lost to Texas 23-6 in the Cotton Bowl, and it wasn't close as a scoreboard. I had defense looked bad, John Mateer looked worse, could not run the football, and basically it looked like got railroaded in the third and fourth quarter. Arch Manning ends up flying downfield and slides and waves goodbye to show you that the locker room has infected the otherwise well-to-do young Manning, who might have got a talking to from his mama, but I doubt it because, he got the win. He's 1-0 against Oklahoma, and John Mateer is 0-1 against Texas, and I don't think they're going to meet later this year. Now, Brent Venables, in his weekly press conference, said playing tight games in the SEC is just part of life here, right? The quote was, "This isn't the old Big 12 days where Oklahoma destroys everybody every single week except one game of the year." That game was often, by the way, Texas. To which the Big 12's X account tweets, "Coach Venables lost 8 conference games in his 2 seasons in the Big 12. Yikes." I realized that the Big 12 is moving different. I realized that the Big 12 has absolutely tried to change how it gets down with a fundamental shift in not only its membership, but its leadership. They're much louder. They're much more about marketing themselves, and they are willing to pick a fight with almost anybody that wants to step on the block. That's very cool for me as a guy that talks about college football all the time and really loves the sport. When we get characters in it, we get people acting out of pocket, like whomever was running the socials over at the Big 12. But it's also a point that needs to be raised. Going into the season, Oklahoma had averaged 7 wins a year with Brent Venables as head coach. That ain't good enough. Now, you take a look at what Gary Gibbs was doing at Oklahoma, and you'll go, oh, it really isn't good enough. It really is that bad. It's just Gary Gibbs could not, really win the games that mattered. And at the time, it was Nebraska and Colorado when they were winning the national championship. Yeah, that's a thing that happened. Barry Switzer got run up out of there after, we had a quarterback end up in the bracelets and in an orange jumpsuit on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And it's really hard to keep your job after that, even if your nickname is King, as in the King. And Switzer's still that guy, beloved around Oklahoma. And I think as he's gotten older, a lot of things have changed. Just as I'm asking myself, when did Denzel Washington turn heel at 70, among other things? Bill Belichick all of a sudden can't coach a football team. Or maybe he could never coach a football team until he got Tom Brady, and that makes things easier. I think that Bill Belichick is a great coach. I just think that he overstepped and overpromised what was going to happen at UNC. But that's another story altogether, because I think, Oklahoma is in a really interesting spot now. I think the Sooners need to win against South Carolina on the road, get to bowl eligibility, and put that particular block to one side. And then you got 5 straight ranked opponents that really can make this hard for you, that really can torpedo the season quick, fast, in a hurry, especially if you played the kind of football the rest of the way that you played against the University of Texas. I still don't think that Texas is as bad as other people do. Matter of fact, I had them ranked going into the matchup against Oklahoma, and other people did not. And one of the reasons is I had them as a preseason number one, like every other major poll. And that's not just because Arch Manning is the quarterback, it's because the tools are there. He played not his best football through the first 5 games of the season, but you can see the size, the speed, the arm talent. He just needs to be able to process what he's seeing quicker and cancel Christmas. They can play. He's got dudes around him, DeAndre Moore, and Ryan Wingo, CJ Baxter, Quintravion Wiseman was having his way with that Oklahoma defense in this game. They got dudes, but more than anything else, it's the defense that made them really great for me. Remember, this is a defense that held Ohio State to just 14 points. Ohio State had putting up numbers on every single other team they played. It's not been close. 14-7 looks really good in retrospect. And I was saying this even along the way. Like, the loss to Florida is not inexcusable because DJ Lagway played his best game of the season. Jaden Baugh played his best game of the season. Dallas Wilson came off the bench to go for 100 receiving yards and 2 TDs. The first Gator to make a debut like that in 30 years. I say come off the bench. It's the first time he could play. And the defense was lights out, right? On top of that, Florida's defense has been pretty damn good. And then add to this that Pete Kokowski's defense was uncharacteristically bad against that Florida offense. And all of that comes back into now they have their backs against the wall with the 2 losses, even as Oklahoma still has the 1. And Texas looks like the team that we all thought it would be at the start of the year. It's just taking some time here. I understand that making fun of Oklahoma is exactly what needs to happen here because that's how the sport rolls. That's how I roll. That's how you roll. To the victor go the spoils, which is why I was saying after the in the reaction video to the game, yo, man, bring it all. Like, I had to show up and wear this L. I had to show up the next day and wear that L. And my bosses texting me about Arch and this and that. That's part of the sport. And if that really is something that you can't hold and you can't handle, you're in the wrong sport. And I think the Big 12 is just doing that. It's my favorite take is a fact that people want to argue. And that one hits right where it was aiming. That's not a stray, as people say. That hit right where the target met the bullseye. And I applaud the Big 12 for allowing the admin to go just a little bit ham on this otherwise mild Tuesday.